All right, my beauties. We are going to do some more graphing, but this time from slope-intercept form, that y equals mx plus b that most people are very accustomed to. All right, so just a little quick reminder. Remember, m represents the slope and b represents the y-intercept. So for this example, we're just going to identify the slope and the y-intercept. So a, y equals negative 4x minus 8. So m is our x coefficient, so our slope is negative 4. The constant is the b, so b equals negative 8, which means our y-intercept is the point, 0, negative 8. Yes, you must write it as a point. All right, so looking at this equation, unfortunately this equation is not in slope-intercept form. So the first thing I need to do is put it into slope-intercept form. So I'm going to subtract the 2x. So I get negative 3y equals negative 2x plus 9. Then I'm going to divide everything by negative 3, and I get y equals 2/3 x minus 3. So now the x coefficient is 2/3, so our slope is 2/3. And b is negative 3, so our y-intercept is the point, 0, negative 3. Some teachers will teach you this pattern of, the slope is the opposite of a over b, the y-intercept is c over b, and if you were taught that before and you want to use that, I have no problem with it. All right, so example 2. Now we're actually going to graph using the slope and y-intercept. So our slope is 7/3. Our y-intercept is the point 0, negative 1. So we graph the y-intercept. We always have to have a starting point. So you graph the y-intercept first. Then, depending on what your graph looks like, 7/3 says up 7 to the right 3. Or if we didn't have enough space, positive 7 over positive 3 is the same as negative 7 over negative 3. A negative divided by a negative is a positive. So if you couldn't go up to the right, you could go down and to the left. So if you wanted, you could go down 7 to the left 3, and you would get the same line. All right, so b, our slope is negative 4, but rise over run. Slope is rise over run, so we always need a fraction. So any number can be put over 1. So this is negative 4 over 1. Or you could put positive 4 over negative 1, because either way, when you divide, you get back to negative 4. The constant gives us our y-intercept at 0, 3. So I graph the intercept first, 0, 3. Then using this one, I went down 4 to the right 1. Or using this one, I went up 4 to the left 1. Either way, you get the same line. And I couldn't find my ruler, so sorry, the line's a little crooked. All right, so C. This one is not in slope-intercept form, so the first thing I need to do is put it into slope-intercept form. So I'm going to subtract the 9x, and then I'm going to divide by negative 2. So I get y equals 9/2 x. So our slope is 9/2, or negative 9 over negative 2. There is no b value, which means the y-intercept is at 0, 0, the origin. So I graph the point 0, 0. And then I went up 9 to the right 2 and down 9 to the left 2. Unfortunately, it went a little off the graph, but that's okay. That's something I don't stress about, so please don't stress if it goes a little bit off the graph. If it goes way off the graph, then that means you usually made a mistake. But if it goes a little off the graph, it's nothing I stress about. Alrighty, so D, 2x plus y minus 6 equals 1. So I need to get the y by itself, so I'm going to subtract 2x, and I'm going to add 6, and I get y equals negative 2x plus 7. So my slope is negative 2, which could be negative 2 over positive 1, or positive 2 over negative 1. My b value is 7, so my y-intercept is at 0, 7. So I graph my y-intercept at 0, 7, and since this is really high up, I'm going to use this one, the slope that way, so that means down 2 to the right 1, down 2 to the right 1, and you could keep doing that for as many points as you wanted. and draw the line. So a little reminder of how to graph using slope-intercept form of line. And yay, there we are.